Hey everyone, welcome to the inaugural episode of Pop Tarot Podcast. I am Janet Boyer. I'm the author of 5 tarot books: Back in Time Tarot, Tarot in Reverse, Naked Tarot, Coffee Tarot Companion Book, and the Snowland Companion Book. And I am here with my artist husband, Ron Boyer, who did the art for the coffee deck and the Snowland deck.
Yeah. And I'm the author of no books.
And you're very introverted.
I am, but not today.
And I had to corral him. I said, let's do a podcast. And he reminds me of Michigan J. Frog on are those Looney Tunes?
Looney Tunes.
And he's the one that goes, hello, my honey, hello, my baby. And this guy, finds the singing Frog in the Park, and then you see dollar signs in his eyes, and he's like, oh man, I can make money off of this frog. And so he books the theater and gets sells tons of tickets, and then as soon as the curtain, and he's singing backstage, but as soon as the curtain opens, rivet. And I'm like, you can't do that if you're going to do this podcast. So it's so funny, even his coworkers and other people, they think he's this very introverted, quiet, studious, hardworking guy, which he is. But at home, he can be
slothful and loud.
Yeah.
And crass.
Wait, that's me. No. No, you're just lazy and slothful. No. After all, you are an Enneagram 9, and their sin is sloth. No, I'm teasing. And I also, guess what? We have our son Noah here. Noah even offered some insights in I know Snowland Companion Book. I can't remember about the Coffee Companion Book, but so's our tarot deck. Oh my God!
Well, it's tarot decks for a living. Let's just say that.
No, you don't. You sew tarot bags.
Well, bags. That's what I meant.
Now,
decks and bags. That's kind of easy to mix up when you get into that
each
business.
Card out
of cloth and thread. See,
I think one is concept.
Noah and I, fabric tarot. Hey, Noah and I have not had our full cup of coffee yet. But,
I had a cup.
Oh, did you? Oh.
I already have it. I can't get enough of it.
I know, that's why we had a coffee deck quiz, because we all love it. But I'm not on mine. Ron had a full day's work already. He's got up at 4:30, so Ron, speaking of sloth, he was practically sleeping in his chair. I'm like, come on, let's do an episode. So, he's
I'm
smiling.
Exhausted.
Are you really? Oh, shit, I'm such a bad wife. So anyway, Ron said, we just need to do this off the cuff. Forget professional.
There's no script. There's
no
hidden agenda. There's
no
direction. There's no.
And that's kind of scary. More for me, the control freak. I think
it's more freeing now.
It is freeing, and hopefully it'll be fun to listen to. I mean, I've tried a couple different podcasts. Some are even on YouTube. I Say It with Tarot, but I don't know. I don't know if it's because my son is in the 7th house of collaboration in my astrological chart, but I feel like except for maybe my books, I really shine when I'm collaborating. I love bouncing things off of people and have them pull things out of me that might be inside and I wouldn't normally, put out there. So anyway, this is, a perfect thing for us, I think, as a family, because a lot of times this is what we do. We sit around the dining room table, which is exactly where we're at now. I was going to get the Tascam. We thought about getting the fancy microphones. And I'm like, oh, hell, you know what?
That's next week.
Maybe. We'll see how your paycheck is. But let's just record it off the phone, So this is really off the fly. And you might be saying, okay, that's all fun and games, chuckleheads, but what is Pop Tarot Podcast? Well, I'm so glad you asked. We're all really into pop culture. If you've read my Back in Time Tarot book and are familiar with my Back in Time Tarot method, which is also called the Bit Method, I invented a way to read tarot. And this was actually how I learned tarot, because at the time, over 15 years ago, I felt all the tarot books out there were just mostly just boring as hell, and did not teach me how to do tarot readings for everyday updated psychological things, which is what mattered to me, or self-exploration, or even for like brainstorming, because I wasn't a fortune teller type. And so I decided to teach myself tarot by starting with, instead, an event, a memory, a movie, a fairy tale, a story, a song, or whatever, and then look through the tarot deck consciously and say, okay, which card seems to embody that, or which cards, and then journal it or cement it in my memory. And so that is actually my Bit Tarot method. So what we're going to be doing in this podcast is really a form of my Back in Time Tarot method, except we are going to be riffing on pop culture, and we're going to look through tarot, and we're going to say, oh, what card would, be associated with this character or this event or this episode or this song, or this fairy tale or this current news event or what have you, or this artist. And hopefully, you might learn some things, from it, because we love to learn trivia. At least I do. I'm like the queen of useless trivia. But we pick up historical things. Don't you too, Noah?
I enjoy doing trivia as well. I was going to say that as well. With like factoids and things. I consider myself good at like memorizing factoids about like history and culture and stuff. I'm actually considered like the encyclopedia of the family. Even though we use like Alexa as a device.
That's true. If we ever want to know a date when a CD was dropped or a historical figure signed an important document, whatever, say, we don't even Google. We say, hey, no, when is that? And we used to like fact check him. Now we don't even bother.
Yeah, we assume
he knows he got it. He's excellent. He's like the numbers guy. Where Ron and I put together, we're lucky we can remember our cell phone. We were at Target the other day, and it's like, and what's your, we were trying to put in the Target.
What is your number?
I still don't know. I just got a new phone, a couple months ago, not even 2 months. I still don't have it memorized because I hate numbers so much. I actually have our cell phone numbers written on the refrigerator on a Post-it because we're just not numbers people. I mean, Noah is to an extent, but Ron and I, we are so not number oriented. You should see us.
Numbers just don't mean a lot to me.
No, they're just so abstract and offensive, and I just hate numbers.
I love symbols.
Yeah,
symbols mean something.
Yeah, symbols. That's probably why we like tarot so much. And the ironic thing is both Ron and I did really good in science. In fact, in my ACT high school test, which is kind of like an SAT, except instead of testing just English and math, it also tested social studies, science, and was it reading comprehension? I can't remember. There was like
something like that.
And science was actually my highest. It was like 27.
Mine too.
Yours too?
Mine was super high.
Yeah. And my English was kind of high, and so was my social studies.
Like,
Oh, and my math was always low. I would have had a decent SAT score if it wasn't for math.
Yeah.
It brought the number down to like, I think my SAT was 990 because the math was so bad. And it's, oh well. Who cares? But anyway, I said all that to say that we really love pop culture in this house. We love retro TV, like Car 54 and like some of the more obscure things that maybe are 50s and 60s. For fun, Noah and I, late at night, when I'm crafting, he's sewing, or we're just hanging out, a lot of times we'll listen to retro radio shows on YouTube from like the 50s and 60s. I tend to pick up crazy information about pop culture, like if Ron wants or somebody wants to know like an actor's name, he usually comes to me. He tells me I have face blindness.
I'm good with faces, so I can pick out different people, even if they look a little different. I usually recognize them,
like
but
that,
I won't remember who they are.
Yeah, and then I provide the name, so I'm good with names, and that's fun for us.
Yes, indeed.
You like that too, huh, bud? So, we say, oh, did you hear about this? Or did you know about this? And it's like, no, I didn't know that. And Ron's like, well, how in the world did you know about that? I don't know. I just stumbled upon it. So we are going to be sharing tidbits about actors, maybe behind the scene things, random stuff about, I don't know, celebrities, people, not sports, because none of us like sports. We would prefer to play sports than watch sports. We might know some. Do we know hockey? Maybe Pittsburgh Penguins?
Not even now so much.
Not even now. Maybe 80s, 90s.
It.
Yeah, we're pretty out of the loop. But anyway, we're going to do stuff like we wrote some of our favorite things. Because, if we're not passionate about it, why bother, right? So we have things written down that we're going to do, like associating tarot cards with the Muppets, Sesame Street characters, Beatles songs, the Brady Bunch, commercials, Marvel characters. Ron's a big fan of Stevie Nicks, so he says Stevie Nicks songs. So now I have to brush up because I'm not a huge fan. Sorry. I don't mean to, Edge of 17 is kind of okay. I'm sorry, guys, just not a fan. Okay, all right, okay, I'm sorry. I should do Rush songs then, and all my like metal stuff, Iron Maiden songs. Ron come up with stuff like, you know, the County Fair, Skinwalker Ranch. How many of you guys have watched Skinwalker Ranch out there? I mean, that is like really.
Sounds like a haunted house.
I found the effects button, guys. So look out. Don't be surprised if you get entire podcasts or nothing but sound effects. I'm sorry. Okay.
I'll take that away from you.
Oh, okay, sorry, that was the wrong one. He says we're going to... I think I meant... Okay, all right, I won't do it. Juan just said he's going to take it away from me. All right. Noah. Thank you, Noah.
I'm booing at the idea of getting rid of sound effects. I think they're wonderful.
Uh-oh.
I'm playing around with it ways and nuts right now.
And Ron's just sitting there stroking his goatee like, oh shit, what am I signing up for? I actually have a funny little obnoxious sound effects machine, and it's really loud.
I thought of that.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, now if you would have thought of that, I would have been sitting here with that instead of the podcast. Oh, and he rolls his eyes. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to be associating tarot cards with different things in pop culture. Maybe fictional detectives, maybe Nancy Drew, folks. What do you think? Sherlock Holmes, Hercule Poirot, Miss Marple.
That's your forte.
That's your forte. Ron, he's just not into like murder mysteries or any kind of mysteries. Noah and I are.
That's more likely to watch. If it's a mystery at all, it'd be Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Jake Peralta, but there's just mostly 21st century equivalent.
That's not a mystery. That's juvenile comedy.
It's a comedy, actually. That's what I mean, but it's still detective cases.
See, this is like a Venn diagram. Like Ron likes juvenile comedy, so does Noah, so they can watch that. I totally, for somebody who loves to laugh and be goofy.
I like a variety of comedy, though.
I don't like any comedy.
I see that.
I like slapstick. You know why? Because most of the comedy, I feel, it panders to the lowest common denominator. It's stupid.
But that's the funny thing.
It's gross and sexual.
Slapstick, which is pretty base.
Base?
Yeah, not depraved or anything. It's just, it's just...
It's lowbrow.
Yeah, very low.
I know, but I mean, slapstick is like...
I like nuance.
Oh, well, I like nuance too.
That's my favorite.
I remember the Ali G show with Sacha Baron Cohen before he got famous. I mean, he wasn't even a pop culture thing yet.
Right.
And we had the DVDs, and I don't even know why we bought the DVDs. And I started watching them with Ron.
Well, we may have rented those. I don't know.
And then we bought them, I think. No, maybe we did rent them. Remember how hard I laughed?
Oh, yeah.
I laughed so hard at Ali G. It was Sacha Baron Cohen playing this, what was he, kind of like a hip-hop artist who would interview, like, famous people. Yeah. And he is actually interviewing politicians and things like that. And I had never seen anything so outrageous. And I remember starting to watch it, and I was laughing literally so hard that it was wordless laughs to where I had so much pressure in the front of my head I thought I was going to black out. It was that... Remember how bad it was?
Yeah.
And I'd have to pause it like every couple minutes because it was so outrageous and I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I think they call it guerrilla comedy.
Guerrilla comedy. Now, see, that was up my alley. Now it's so overdone that now it's blasé.
Yeah, there's more people doing it.
But then you never saw it. Now, speaking of guerrilla, there was a guerrilla journalist. That's, was that Jack Kerouac?
I don't know about that.
Leaving Las Vegas. I get those confused, the beat poets. He was the one who did guerrilla journalism. Now, see, that's up my alley. Being like an ultimate trickster, and you're just kind of throw it in the face, or you're making people look dumb or something. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I do like that. And I like slapstick, Three Stooges, Jerry Lewis when he's on. Stuff like that. But like most comedy, it's just so crude. That's like Saturday Night Live, as far as I'm concerned. It has not been good since. That we need more cowbell days. With Don't Fear the Reaper. I mean, Will Ferrell, Jimmy Fallon, Horatio
Fred
Sands,
Armisen.
Fred Armisen. That was like the best. I mean, it wasn't so bad with Adam Sandler, I guess, and that, like Cajun Man and what have you. Now, see, that would be a good topic. I'm going to write that down. Chris Farley. Oh, that was the crazy era. But, yeah.
Dana Carvey.
Yeah, Church Lady.
Kevin Nealon.
Kevin Nealon. I don't remember a lot of these. So I'm putting Saturday Night Live as one of our also future possibilities. That would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Doing Saturday Night Live or skits or characters. That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of your favorite Saturday Night Live? Can you remember any, Noah? Oh, Sweaty Balls. Noah is so naughty.
That's one of them. I'll admit that. It's
Baldwin.
crazy.
Oh my God.
It was like it was a skit that set around Christmas time or something, and he was there. That was a bit of implied,
It was Anna Gasteyer and Molly Shannon were pretending like they were hosts of an NPR podcast or radio show. It was real laid back, and it was called, what was it called?
Was it Deep Dish or something?
Deep Dish or something, and they'd talk about, and so then they brought Alec Baldwin's character on to talk about his favorite recipe, and it was supposedly, it was an old Schweddy recipe. His name was Schweddy.
Yeah.
Schweddy. And then they spent, the whole episode talking about Schweddy balls, and you know what that is. Go ahead, Noah.
Yeah, the dialogue sounds like it'd be, kind of an implied kind of, get some kind of deal.
A get some kind of deal. Did he just say a get some kind of deal?
I wouldn't recommend kids watching that. I mean, it really does. It's adult humor, that's to be sure.
He just said get some. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's true. It's always, implied, talking about, well, you know what Schweddy balls are. Yeah, they'll have to fill in the blanks, Noah. So every time we're like hot in the day, like Noah and I are Vikings, we prefer cool weather, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm sweating so bad, and of course Noah has to pop up with about Schweddy balls, and I'm like, Noah, and then we all laugh, and...
Well, I just say Schweddy. I don't use
Oh, you don't even say balls. Yeah, you just say Schweddy, and I know what's going on, and...
good old orbs.
Noah! He called it orbs, Ron. On public.
Let's try to keep this clean here.
PG-13, maybe? Oh my God.
I'm sorry, I ruined this.
You didn't ruin it. It was,
It's going off the rails, though, I think.
Wow. Poor Noah's face is all red. Oh, we're going off the rails.
I was thinking that.
No, let's sing it. Okay, ready? We're going off the rails of the crazy train. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Oh, Noah's back at the beginning. Do-do. Do-do. Do-do.
Iconic laugh for the song.
Don't shake your head. It doesn't translate. Okay. That was for you, Ron. Okay. So anyway, we're going to keep this really loosey-goosey, as you can see. And we're going to associate different things with tarot. Maybe you'll learn some things. Maybe you'll be entertained.
Maybe you won't.
Or maybe you won't. In that case, we're so sorry, but we're having fun. So I'm not even sure what our first episode is going to be,
Maybe this is edutaining.
Yeah.
A combination of educating and edutaining.
Yes, maybe perhaps we will be the finest edutainment.
The ratios might be mixed up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's more entertainment than educational and vice versa.
Yes. Well said, Mr. Noah. Well said. You can tell who has the coffee today running through his veins. So I think we're going to wrap it up. Do you want to wrap it up, Ron?
Okay.
What do you think? Any thoughts about what we're going to do with associating tarot with pop culture? Any thoughts?
We're just going to make correlations,
Okay. So, let's make a correlation for our new Pop Tarot podcast. What tarot card would you like to pick? It could be for an intended purpose or to describe what we're doing right now, or what? What do you think? What about you, Noah?
Well,
I mean, we could say the Fool because it's something new and we're kind of almost stepping off a cliff.
Yeah.
It's a perfect card to pick.
You think so? The Fool?
The
Something new?
Thing. The Fool. I think that would be
the
good.
sun.
The Sun. Oh, why the Sun?
Well, just
Here comes the sun.
because you're sort of like out there
Is naked babies on horses?
in the open.
Uh-huh.
You're broadcasting.
Oh,
You're kind of like in the spotlight. in
I
a
like
sense.
that. Yeah, like in our snowland deck. When the snowman is on stage singing and we've got fans, with their lighters, but then one of them has a firecracker.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll have a fan in quotation marks with a firecracker too, but we know where they can stick it. Da-dun-dun. Oh, I took off the sound effects. I could have did my da-dun-dun. I'm just teasing. But Noah, so what do you think for the tarot card to describe the Fool? You think that's a Fool? I like the Ace of Wands too, kind of like a sparkler or something new starting with hopefully fire and energy. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I think they'd be good cards. To be honest, I'm not very
Conversant?
knowledgeable
Yeah.
about the tarot cards the way my mom is. Now, it's a matter of me brushing it up. I should probably read one of her books. And so should you if you want to learn tarot.
I swear
I recommend it.
that was not scripted. Aw, my guys are the biggest fans.
But
Sweet. Thank you,
I
Noah.
think that's the best card to work with.
Yeah.
The Fool card.
Yeah.
Because I understand that's about beginnings.
It is.
And
a
you
big,
don't
big-
know. You just don't know what lies ahead on the edge of the cliff.
That is true. That I think is a perfect card for a new endeavor. New episodes could be like the Aces because they're kind of like mini fools in that they're new. Ace of Swords, if you're mentally sharp. Of course, since we don't have caffeine, Noah's going to be the Ace of Swords today. Ace of Wands, the excitable new. That would be me,
That was you.
and you'd be the Ace of Coins because
Ace of Pillows.
Ace of Pillows. Because he's slothful. No, because he's tired. Yeah. And Ace of Swords can be our phone because that's who's recording. Mental realm, maybe? Okay.
That's not in his head. He's already losing steam here.
Yeah, he's looking a little tired, so we better wrap it up. So,
Jumping into the shed for some good night's sleep.
yeah. Okay. Well, we hope you enjoyed this introduction to Pop Tarot, what it is, what we're going to be about. If you have any suggestions on things that you would like to see spun through the Pop Tarot world, let us know and we'll associate cards and do a show on it. Again, I'm Janet Boyer, author and co-creator of the Coffee Deck and Snowland Deck. Ron Boyer, say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Who is the artist for our decks. Noah Boyer, who's our son, and he sews our custom tarot decks for our Shea Boyer Etsy shop. Say bye, Noah.
Goodbye, and hopefully we'll hear you again soon.
Hear them again soon.
Or they will hear us again soon.
Yeah, that sounds
Rather.
better. Yeah, because we don't want them recording voice messages and bombarding us with all their praise and and offers to pay our mortgage and things like that. We wouldn't want that now, would we? No.
You know what I mean.
I do know what you mean, sweetheart. Okay, bye-bye, everyone. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.